Hey everyone, Drew from Monkey's Tropicals Adventures, here to do another fragrance review on
what smells good to me.
So what are we going to talk about? So full disclosure, the fragrances we are going to talk about were sent to me. However, I'm going to give you a 100% honest review. I'm going to give you my opinion based on my use of these fragrances. So with that being said, let's do this. So what are we talking about? We are talking about the good people at Alt Fragrances. So I do want to thank Alt for sending these. I've worked with Alt several times before. I do have to say that they really do a great job at capturing either the essence and DNA of a fragrance that is so close that you really can't tell the difference at all, or they nail it. And they've done both. I've had some fragrances where maybe the opening is a little bit off, but the dry down really comes to the middle of the road where I really couldn't tell the difference, or they just nailed it. It smelled identical, and I actually got some better performance on some of their fragrances. So they really know what they're doing. I don't know how they do it, if it's magic or witchcraft or voodoo or some other type of scary stuff, alien type stuff, I don't know. But Alt is doing a great job at making affordable fragrances and really just kind of staying with the trends of what's really popular out there. So we are talking about Baccarat 540 and Baccarat 40 Extrait. So I have a little bit of both, and let's just kind of break down the price. So Baccarat Rouge 540 is their inspired creation is called Crystal number 23, and it goes for a 30 ml, which is this size bottle. It goes for $35. You can get a 13 ml, which is this size, for $20, or a 5 ml for $9.95. And if you were to buy the Baccarat 540, the real thing, you are looking at $300 for a 300 ml. I'm sorry, for a 70 ml. 300 ml, holy shit, how big is that bottle? It's like a gigantic jug. No, 70 ml. For the Extrait, it is $40 for a 30 ml, or $25 for a 13 ml, or $9.95 for a 5 ml. If you were to buy a 70 ml of Baccarat 540 Extrait, you're looking at $425. So a disparaging huge difference, right? I don't own either of the ones, so I'm only going based on what this smells like, based on reviews I've read, based on other Baccarat Rouge 540 clones. And what I've noticed is it seems, again, that other inspired fragrance houses are doing the same thing. So that kind of makes me think that they've got an idea of how to capture that essence, that DNA. So let's break down the Baccarat 540. What does it smell like? So I get a cotton candy, kind of like a sugary sweet smell. Everything I've read is that Baccarat Rouge, even the real thing, is a very synthetic type smell, but synthetic in a good way. Sometimes synthetic can be something really bad. But let's just spray it and I'll tell you what I smell. I already told you what I smell, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Beautiful spray too out of the atomizer. Okay, so a really nice smell. It almost reminds me of kind of going through like a confectionery, like a candy type store. Truly cotton candy. As a kid growing up, at Halloween, there was a guy that lived around the corner from me. It was the house to hit. The guy had a cotton candy machine and you could smell that shit from a block away. It was the house to hit right away because he would always run out. This guy had a cotton candy machine. I came back in like my 20s after I'd already moved out of the city. What the hell was I doing in my 20s going back? But I wanted cotton candy. It still smelled amazing, and there's something that smell about that sponge sugar. That's warm sponge sugar. That's really what cotton candy is, and that's kind of what I get. And it's not overly sweet, but I get that cotton candy vibe with some nice like woody notes. So the notes are supposed to be like jasmine, saffron, orange, ambroxan, cedarwood, ambergris, fir balsam. I definitely get the orange, and I I think the wood notes, I don't know, but I get like a nice cotton candy vibe, and it does it for me. I really, really enjoy it. So if that is what the Baccarat Rouge 540 smells like, this has done it. Absolutely love it. Smells great. It is a unisex fragrance. It doesn't lean any way. It particularly doesn't go too far feminine, too far masculine. So I could easily see this as a unisex fragrance, which it is. It's kind of like it's a very sexy fragrance, and it's something that kind of is inviting. It would be something that is very different. I don't have any other fragrances, and I have quite a few that smell like cotton candy. And I know by saying that it sounds kind of weird, but if you smell warm cotton candy as it's being spun, not like in a bag that's been sitting there on a shelf, I'm talking about brand new, where someone's making it, you know what I'm talking about. And that's what I get from just the Baccarat 540 inspired fragrance. I like it. Where could you wear it? This is light enough that you could wear it year round. It's office safe in my opinion, and it's something again that I think it's unique enough in my opinion, and it's a very popular fragrance, so what the hell, that it's going to be something that is going to get you noticed. I got 2 compliments on it. One person's like, are you wearing some type of French cologne? And I was like, I'm wearing. And it's one of those things, like, outside of the fragrance community, again, people they like the smell of something. If I was to go, oh, it's Baccarat Rouge 540, they would be like, what? Or I could say it's alt fragrance, and they'll be like, what? And I could just show them where it is, and they would buy it. Either way, probably they lean more towards the alt because it's more affordable. But that's really what fragrance is. People want to smell nice. And so, yeah, 2 unsolicited comments from people. So it is a compliment getter in my opinion, and I really enjoy the smell of it. All right, so let's go to the Crystal Intense number 32, which is the Baccarat 40 Extrait. So this is Crystal Intense, and so what do I get from this one? I still get that cotton candy vibe, but it's a little bit smoother, a little bit more refined. And in my opinion, that tends to be the thing that happens when you have like an Extrait or the Eau de Parfum. You just get a little bit more refined smoothness to it. So in Baccarat 540 Extrait, in the actual fragrance, you have bitter almond, ambroxan, and woody accord. So I can see the bitter almond, but I'm still kind of getting a cotton candy vibe. Not as sweet, a little bit like smoother, a little bit more refined. And I got a little bit more longevity out of the fragrance in the Extrait. I easily got 8 hours out of both of these fragrances. They're not beast mode type fragrances. They did have nice projection, and they were quite noticeable throughout the day. In fact, I sprayed one on one of my sweatshirts that I was wearing, and I threw it on 2 days later. I could still smell it, no problem at all. So the longevity is, I mean, that's 2 days. And I put it on, I was like, what the hell? I was like, whoa. I can still smell it. So you've got badass longevity. You've got really refined smoothness. So it really comes down to do like a little bit sweeter. I don't know. I kind of like the 540 over the Extrait. It's just, yes, this is smoother, more refined, but this one just, I liked it better. I don't know. It smelled better on my skin. So it really comes down to personal preference. If you're really big on the Extrait and you want something that's got more of that bitter almond that does kind of show itself a little bit more, then you're going to want to go with the Extrait. But as far as for me, the Baccarat 540, which is the crystal, I seem to like that much better. Again, it comes down to personal preference. Super affordable. They smell amazing. It seems like they're really kind of on point with what Baccarat Rouge did as far as capturing the notes and the essence. Again, I don't have the fragrances, so I can't compare. I can only go based on these are some really nice, beautiful fragrances, and they're affordable. Compliment grabbers. So that's my two cents, folks. I really appreciate you watching. Please follow Alt. I'll list all this below. Follow me on Instagram at Monkeys Tropicals Adventures, and make sure you follow Alt over there on Instagram as well. They're always running specials, And I'll see you again for another fragrance review.